This is KVUE News Daybreak.
Healthcare showdown. The vote to overhaul the U.S. health insurance system set for a second battle now. Why it's expected to be a harder sell in the Senate. And if it passes, how it could impact you.
4 local children saved this morning after their home caught on fire. How a stranger is responsible for saving their lives.
Good morning to you, and thank you for joining us for KVUE News Daybreak at 5 a.m. I'm Brian Mays.
And I'm Yvonne Nava. It is Friday. I didn't have to tell you twice. Happy Cinco de Mayo. That's
right. Before we check in with Anavid Reyes, she's keeping her eyes on traffic for us. Erica Lopez has her eyes on the skies, and we're looking forward to a good weekend, Erica.
Yes, indeed. You can thank high pressure for that good weekend. Sunny. Temperatures will be near average. It's going to be fantastic. As for this morning, we're kicking off your day in the 50s. Austin at 57. Hill Country a little bit chillier. Lower 40s for some of them. How is your Friday going to play out? Well, keep in mind, things are going to still be breezy at times, not as windy as what we had yesterday. Gusts of up to 30 miles an hour at times yesterday afternoon. Lunchtime plans will be in the mid-70s. By this afternoon, lower 80s. That's what we're going to top out at. About 82 degrees for your forecasted high. Quick sneak peek at your weekend forecast. 86 for Saturday. Sunday, slightly more humid. It's still going to be bearable. We'll be at about 87 degrees. This is good news if you possibly have plans to go to the Pecan Street Spring Arts Festival this weekend. Highs will be in the 80s, looking sunny and nice. Anavid has the latest on the road conditions this morning. How are things holding up?
Good morning, Erica. Well, this is a live look at your TxDOT camera. Mopac northbound at Enfield. You can see that construction is starting to wrap up this morning. Let's take a look at this accident here, North Austin. This is on Lamar Boulevard at Airport Boulevard. So if you're trying to catch I-35 or 290, watch out for this area this morning. Guys, back to you.
Anavid, thank you. A family safe this morning after a fire at one house spread to another home overnight. The fire started around midnight on Coyote Trail in Lago Vista. Officials say the fire started at a vacant mobile home before spreading to the home next door. Inside that house, a family of 6, including 4 kids. A bystander saw the flames knocked on the door of the house that let the family know there was a fire, so they all got out safely. The cause of that fire, though, still under investigation. Neighbors say, though, they frequently have problems with squatters in a vacant home there. After years of promising to repeal the Affordable Care Act, House Republicans took a major step toward that goal yesterday. But as ABC's Kenneth Moten explains, there are major roadblocks ahead in the Senate where the bill is expected to undergo significant changes.
This morning, President Trump's fight over health care now in the hands of the Senate. The president on a decommissioned battleship, the USS Intrepid in New York with Australia's prime minister.
Right now, Obamacare is failing.
The president made this stunning statement.
I shouldn't say this to our great gentleman and my friend from Australia because you have better health care than we do.
Trump praised Australia's government-funded universal health care hours after celebrating the razor-thin passage of a bill in the House that would gut Obamacare.
We still have a lot of work to do to get this signed into law.
Senate Republicans already preparing to write their own bill, a version that could scare off House GOP moderates or hardliners.
Shame! Shame!
Who could face even more protests back home. The Affordable Care Act requires all Americans to have health insurance or pay a penalty. The GOP plan does not. Obamacare expanded Medicaid. The Republican bill would roll back the expansion. Estimates show millions at risk of not having insurance under the Republican bill. Coverage of pre-existing conditions weakened. By one estimate, 27% of Americans have one. Even higher in these southern states, all voted for President Trump. Defeated Democrats in the House promised to fight on.
They put their name next to "you're paying more for less." And we'll make sure that the public is aware of that.
Senate Republicans are already sounding off on the House health care bill, saying the country should buckle up for an even longer process on their side. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Washington.
Groups are pledging to fight an executive order President Trump signed yesterday, and here's what it does. First, it allows churches and other religious groups to support or oppose political candidates without risking their tax-exempt status. The order also aims to make it easier for employers with religious objections to not provide contraception coverage. One thing, though, that's not included in the order, relief for religious groups that don't want to serve or hire members of the LGBTQ community. Happening today, the University of Texas community will come together to honor fellow Longhorns they've lost over the past year, including the freshman who died in the UT stabbing attack earlier this week. School officials have confirmed that Harrison Brown will be honored in today's UT Remembers Memorial. The university-wide event will take place throughout the day and includes a flag-lowering ceremony, commemorative chiming of the bell tower, and the darkening of the tower. Grief counselors will also be available to students and staff who need someone to talk to in this time of remembrance.
5:05 now. Austin police need your help finding a man who may be behind several apartment break-ins in the Domain area. Take a look at your screen here. Officers say a man appears to be targeting higher-end apartment communities, but it's not only families in that area who are at risk. Police say he might also be involved in recent thefts in the Lamar Union area. If you have any information, you're encouraged to call police.
Mexican drug lord Joaquin El Chapo Guzman is headed back to the courtroom this morning, and this comes one day after a U.S. district judge denied his request for visitors. He's also not allowed to interact with regular inmates. The 59-year-old escaped from a Mexican prison twice before he was captured and brought to the U.S. back in January. He's being held in a federal prison in Manhattan and is facing charges for his involvement in a multi-billion-dollar drug trafficking operation and for multiple murders and kidnappings.
Austin City Council getting to work trying to make your morning commute a bit smoother. Council members made some big decisions on what to do with some of the $720 million transportation money in that bond that was passed in November that was approved by voters last year. KVUE's Corey Coffin joins us now live from the Metro Rail Station downtown to tell us about which projects got approval. Corey?
Well, good morning to both of you guys. Yeah, voters passed that in November. We've been waiting to see what additional projects council will allocate because some money was already earmarked for certain projects in that bond. Others had not been decided on just yet. So that has now happened. Let's take a look at all the projects that council has decided to move forward with. $9 million will go towards Spicewood Springs Road at 360. $12 million will be allocated for the corridor construction program and $18 million for sidewalks, bike paths, and Vision Zero, as well as substandard streets. City Council also decided to make some changes to downtown traffic to make way for a new Capitol Metro train station. Cars and trucks will no longer be allowed down 4th Streets between Red River and Trinity. Instead, 5th Street will be made into a two-way street. This is all part of the goal to make Austin more accessible and affordable.
In order to be able to do that, we need a bigger station that ensures the safety of passengers, but also allows passengers on our rail to connect to other modes of transportation.
Now, the train station will have 3 tracks with a large plaza to make room for riders to wait in line and connect with other routes, as well as connect with riders with bikes, cars, and buses. A $50 million TxDOT grant will help with all of this as far as the train station goes, and that should begin construction in August. Live in downtown Austin, I'm Corey Coffin for KVUE News.
Corey, thanks. TxDOT planning to clear up some confusion that has drivers heading to the airport worried about breaking the law. The problem is southbound on State Highway 130 towards ABIA to the Highway 71 toll road ramp. The sign tells drivers the exit for the airport's a mile away, but legally only the drivers in the right 2 lanes can use that exit. There are double white lines that keep drivers from crossing over into the right lane to exit. TxDOT is working now to fix the problem and all the confusion. They'll get rid of the double solid line and replace it with a solid dash combination line. This will let drivers know when it's safe so they can move to the toll lane.
Well, one of Austin's largest arts and crafts and music festival kicks off this weekend, and Cat Metro wants to help festival goers get around the downtown area. The 2017 Spring Pecan Street Festival starts tomorrow, and Cat Metro will be extending hours for people to use before and after the event for their Metro Rail. The train service will run on Saturday from 10 a.m. to midnight, and if you can't take the rail, don't worry about it because you can also catch a ride using Metro Rapid or any of the local bus routes that serve downtown. By the way, the Metro Rail will be out of service on Sunday.
Flooding continues in parts of the Midwest and the South this morning. Take a look at this. Floodwaters rising to record levels in Missouri and Arkansas. So much so they flooded the Missouri, Mississippi, and Black Rivers. Started when heavy rain began to fall over the weekend. Officials say at least 17 people in the regions have died from weather-related incidents. Back here in Austin, we're talking about sunny skies and really not too bad temperatures today and the weekend. Right, Erica?
Yeah, it's quite nice. Near average today. Yesterday, we were below average. We're not going to see any 90s all weekend long. Such a great forecast in store and really clear for the heart of the nation. Check out all the rain still happening for the eastern half of the nation. Also, tornado watches, severe thunderstorm watches. It's been a long night for them. Downtown, live sky cam out there. Things are clear. Temperatures on the cool side. May need light sweaters. You're heading out the door as we're in the mid to lower 50s. ABIA 54, Camp Mabry upper 50s, and Dew Point's dry, comfortable. We still have the north wind that's set up for our region, so that's bringing in that cooler, drier air mass. The good news is that today's not going to be as windy as yesterday. Yesterday we had gusts of up to 30 miles an hour. Today still breezy at times, but we'll have plenty of sunshine and temperatures won't be too bad. Guys, back to you.
Erica, thanks. Can I get an encore? Do you want more?
Oh, you read it worse than I did.
They told me Jay-Z. They made me listen to Jay-Z so I could get it just right. I think that was perfect, Yvonne.
Perfection.
You may say it again? Can I get an encore? Do you want more? Jay-Z's coming back to the live music capital of the world. That's right. ACL confirming yesterday afternoon the rap star's been added to the 2017 lineup. How about that? His sister-in-law, Solange, will also be performing. So the only question now is Queen Bee going to be here? Beyonce. We'll just have to wait and find out. Other performers in the lineup, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Chance the Rapper, Ice Cube, and The Killers. Tawan's here. She's the producer that wrote that. She's giving me the thumbs up.
Yeah.
Do you want an encore? Do you want
Oh, Ron Burgundy.
That's in the Shakespearean tone, I think. I'm not a very good rapper.
Hey, neither am I. I was really bad at 4:30. Citizenship test required to pass high school.
Coming up, the new change that could be coming to Texas schools.
And it's that time of year when people get stuck on roller coasters, and it happens again in Oklahoma. Why this is a familiar scene for the amusement park.